Dankeschön. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, wir machen jetzt doch ein bisschen weiter mit dem Wechsel zwischen Deutsch und Englisch, da Katalin ein Kanadier und auch Rumäne ist. Sein Deutsch ist zwar einigermaßen gut, aber ich möchte dann trotzdem die Laudatio hier auf Englisch halten. So, first of all, we are from the Institute for Plant Sciences. So plants is not only about feeding the world, but also about biofuels, bioenergy and biomaterials, and that's where Katalin came in. I actually met him about 5 years ago. That was on a very, very small conference. That was in Canada. He's Canadian. When he was still doing his master's thesis. And he got impressed with Germany and the German system for doing a PhD because he said, Germany is great. You can do a PhD in 3 years. That's, of course, what we believe in Jülich here as well. And he said, well, I need to do my master's first because we have very good results, and let's keep in touch. So we kept in touch, and at some point we Skyped, and I remember this very well. He said, yeah, he wanted to be at the interface between basic science and applied science. That would be very interesting for him, and that's exactly what we do here. So in the end, actually, he showed that you can use very basic science, and we didn't believe that, to do something very, very applied and important. He was working on something very basic in seeds, and when you put seeds in water, they release something. And this something is actually very similar to hemicelluloses, a very important component of the cell wall that can be used for biofuels and biofibers. And he actually made very good contributions to their synthesis and how that can be done. So, a few words about Katalin. He was very hardworking. Of course, he had to be, because there was a 3 years timeline that he set himself. And nevertheless, at all times, he helped his co-workers, was very open to collaborations, and helped other people in the lab and beyond. And of course, he not only helped other people, but he realized that Jülich is also about collaboration with other institutes, and there's technologies and techniques he could apply. So he collaborated about microscopy and also to get very good images from somewhere. But he also realized Jülich is good, but the world is even better. So he started by himself a collaboration with France at the Institut National for Agronomique, very prestigious institute in Versailles. And of course, he wanted to go a little bit longer there to get some training. And he said, no, actually, I try to get my own money to do this because that's part of science as well. And I said, yeah, go ahead. And he actually secured some money. I was very happy about this, to spend a few months in Versailles to learn new microscopy techniques. He came back, and of course, with all the new techniques, that was great. And he said, well, actually, we need such a microscope in our institute as well. It was, of course, not something that you just buy. It was a bit more expensive. It was a special one. But I talked to my very good friend, Uli Schur, another director, and he said, yeah, well, let's see what it will be about. So I asked Katalin, so what do you think this is good for? What kind of profit will you get? And I don't know if he just waited for this. He was well prepared. I just asked him during a normal talk about his scientific progress, and he said, well, this question we're going to answer, and we can figure out this, and we know if this polymer is going to be made at this position, at this time in the seed, and we will exactly learn what the interaction between the polymers is going to be. I was very impressed by that. And actually, yes, we bought the microscope, and indeed, he answered all the questions he gave me at that day. I kept track of this, Katalin. Of course, now with the microscope, there was a new problem. The day is only 24 hours, plus the night, of course. But so Katalin actually got himself in touch with RWTH University, which is my affiliation, and organized that master students would work for him. Indeed, he managed to get 3 very good and 1 with a tendency to excellent master students, and advised these master students. All were very happy with them. And lo and behold, 2 of these master students are already on publications with Katalin, and the first one that's still pending. So he actually made very good use of it in producing his projects. But it doesn't stop there. He helped colleagues then in Aachen as well, because he realized they have to do more teaching, and helped them establish molecular biology techniques. Quite difficult techniques sometimes as well. And, well, we talked about the PhD. We talked about what makes an excellent scientist. An excellent scientist is not only about publications. that's why I also nominated Katalin, because he thought beyond what you do in your little scientific world, but he tried to bring it to the outside. He participated in the Falling Walls. He also talked to people in the general public. He wanted to bring his science to the people, to make people understand that what we do is important. And I think that is a part of excellent science as well, that people get to know what this science is good for, how it impacts their life, and Katalin was looking into this. So afterwards, he finished his PhD last year, and that's closing the circle. He went actually to my former PhD supervisor, who had just come back from Berkeley to Düsseldorf University. I was the first PhD student of my supervisor who came back, and Katalin was my first PhD student in Jülich, so that's kind of a nice circle. And all in all, I just want to thank Katalin for the excellent time we had together and all this great work you did. And I think this prize is just a very good recognition of your work and your achievements, but also of your character and the way you interact with people. And with this, I would like to ask you here on the stage.